Hi, I'm Ralph. Welcome to my channel. This is week 3 of my being on the carnivore diet. And we're covering the results of what's happened during the previous couple of weeks and looking forward to a great coming week. First off, let's cover some of the results of what happened last week. Last week, I lost 3.2 pounds. Not too bad. Overall, my total for the 2 weeks is 15.4 pounds. And I'm feeling really great about that. But as I've said multiple times during the previous couple of weeks, you can't really count on the results from the first week because a lot of that weight loss is going to be from water loss, not fat loss. So I'm pretty happy with the 3.2 pounds for the second week. And if I can continue that, I'd be pretty satisfied with that. Now, with that said, how have things been going? Things have been going generally pretty well. Although I will mention that an issue that I feel a little bit uncomfortable talking about, but is kind of necessary because some of the people watching here are wanting to know what it's like to be on the carnivore diet, and it's your stools. Quite frankly, I'm not used to talking about poop. But let's talk about that for just a quick moment. They tell you when you're on the carnivore, at least in the beginning, to expect loose stools. And then after that, you may go a couple of days without having a movement. I have not gotten to that latter part yet. I'm more of that still into the loose stool phase. And it seems to be, semi-frequent, but that is what it is. Now, with that said, I also have experienced some nighttime cramping in my legs. Nothing severe that I haven't been able to really control, but I do have a tip for anybody out there that might be going through this, whether you're dieting or you just experience cramps. Mustard, just plain old like French's yellow mustard or the store brand. It really does not matter what brand it is as long as it's just the plain old yellow mustard. Not the Dijon and not the Grand Poupon or anything like that. Just plain old yellow mustard. I don't know what's in it, what does it, but it will knock the cramps out almost immediately. And I know it works. Now, what's the scientific basis for this? What's my resource? My resource is, before people used to Google stuff, people actually used to read the newspaper. And there was a syndicated column called The People's Pharmacy. And they would talk about everyday remedies like this. Sometimes they understood them, sometimes they didn't understand the why behind it. They just knew that it worked. And yellow mustard works for cramps. Now, I'm probably also experiencing some of this because maybe I'm just a little bit dehydrated. I need to keep working on how much water I take in. I drink a lot of coffee, and coffee can pull water out of your body. So I just need to keep working on drinking lots of water, although I'm drinking a whole lot more water now than I used to. But if you do experience something like that, just keep a bottle of yellow mustard around. Okay, right now I'm coming to you from Atwood's Ranch and Home here in Crossroads, Texas. This is one of those farm and ranch places. You've got everything here. So why is this on a health and fitness and weight loss channel? I will tell you exactly why. Because of genes. When you're losing weight, you're dropping down clothing sizes. For me, about every 15 pounds, I drop down a size in my pants. Right now, I'm having to shop for more pants because during the first 2 weeks of carnivore, I lost about 15 pounds. If that's the case for you, or whatever that number is for you, you're going through clothing and you're going to be going through it quickly. So it does not make sense to spend a lot of money on clothes. I spend a lot of time in jeans. And these jeans are only going for about $11.99. the size range. I've seen them up here size 60 waist, maybe even a 62, and down to a size 30. So they've got this wide range of sizes. I haven't even seen size range like that at Walmart. Try going into a typical men's store and find that kind of size range. You'd have to go to a big and tall man to get a size 60 waist. This is here every day for $11.99. Besides that, you know about being on carnivore, big into meat, big into eggs. Maybe you want to get fresh eggs. They sell little chicks here. You can grow your own. So trust me, check out Atwood's or at least another farmer ranch type of store that might be close to you if you're not close to any Atwood's. But I love Atwood's. Look around. They got everything. Check it out. This is Thursday, day 4 of week 3. And quite frankly, I'm a little disappointed and confused because I'm not quite sure what's going on with this diet right now. I've had some disappointing results for the last 3 days. And everything that I'd read, everything that I'd seen about the carnivore diet, they always talk about how the weight is going to melt right off. And I was all excited about that. In the first week, it seemed like it did, but you know you can't count on the first week because a lot of that is water weight. And the second week, I'd lost 3.2 pounds. And so I thought that was pretty acceptable. It's a good, healthy range to be losing weight at. And then I get to this week. And on Tuesday, I get on the scale and I gained 0.2 pounds. Okay, 0.2 pounds, that's nothing. Why are you worried about 0.2 pounds? I wasn't, because 0.2 pounds, that can just be, you had a little extra water or whatever. But then on Wednesday, I got on the scale and I gained another 1.8 pounds. And that was a little concerning to me. That's kind of going the wrong direction. That's 2 days in a row. Then today I get on the scale and I've gained another 1.6 pounds. So for the last 3 days, I have gained 3.6 pounds. And I was kind of confused. What's happening? 3 days in a row, that's trending the wrong direction. And I don't know why. I basically only eat when I'm hungry. And I kind of thought that's the way it was supposed to be. So a lot of times I'll have, 2 eggs and 3 strips of bacon for breakfast. But sometimes I don't feel like breakfast, or sometimes I feel like I ought to have something. So I'll just have the 3 strips of bacon because I can pop those in the microwave and that's quick and easy. Lunch, again, I've traditionally not been a real big lunch eater. So if I'm thinking about it and not busy, I might pop in another couple of eggs and fry those up and maybe some more bacon and have some water. But a lot of times I'll skip that. So I might have skipped 1 or 2 meals at this point. I'll get to dinner and I might have anywhere from, 3/4 of a pound to maybe a pound and a quarter, maybe a pound and a half, but probably closer to 3/4, 1 pound of meat. And then I don't snack. I don't eat anything after dinner. I keep drinking water. So I don't quite understand what's going on. I might need some help from people to figure this out. The only thing I can think of is that maybe I'm not eating enough food. That maybe my body is telling me that they think that my body is starting a starvation mode and they need to retain that fat and not give it up. That's the only thing I can think of that might make sense. So maybe I need to actually be making more of a conscious effort to eat, especially at, normal times, like keep doing the breakfast, keep doing a lunch, and maybe even up it a little bit at dinner, because maybe they'll stimulate my appetite to be up for more than 3/4 of a pound of meat. But like I say, that is the only thing I can think of. But I'll tell you what, I know there's people out there that may actually have more experience at carnivore than I do. I am not a carnivore diet expert. I'm just giving this a shot and seeing what I can do, and I'm trying to stick to the basics, and I think I've got it down. I'm eating, meat, and bacon, and butter, and I'll have coffee and a lot of water and putting salt into everything. But if you've got other suggestions for me, please, please, please put them down below. Okay, here I am at the Carter Blood Care in Frisco, Texas. If you watched the first week's video, you saw me donating blood at that time. But I try to do it every 2 weeks. Now, if you're doing whole blood donations, you can do it like once a month. Platelets, you can do every 2 weeks. Plasma, I think like every day. So why am I here? Why am I putting this as part of the health and fitness video? Because it's good for your health, not just the person receiving the blood donation. If you donate blood, it reduces your chance of a heart attack by 88%. It also reduces the chances of blood clots and stroke. But as it applies to a person on a carnivore diet, the more meat you eat, especially red meat, you are getting a lot of iron into your system. And in order to balance that out, if you donate blood, you're depleting the sources of iron and giving your body a chance to replace that iron. So it's kind of like an oil change on a car. It's giving you a fresh start. So yes, donating blood, not just good for the person who's receiving it, it's also good for you and your health. This is Thursday, week 3. Come join me. I am about to go out for my exercise, but before I get all hot and sweaty, I wanted to make sure that I did a recap for week 3. Today is Monday. Had my weigh-in this morning to see how I did for yesterday, and here's the results. I'm still a little bit disappointed, but it's starting to come back a little bit from what it was earlier in the week. On Friday, I had lost 0.8 pounds. On Saturday, that was down 1.4 pounds. On Sunday, I actually went up 0.4 pounds again, but then this morning I was down 0.8 pounds. So 3 out of the 4 days being down, that's not too bad. That still puts me at up 1 pound for the week. So I am still down 14.4 pounds for the 3-week period. All in all, that's not too bad. I'm still maintaining that weight that I lost during the first week. So that's hopeful. Still kind of wondering what next week is going to have in store for me. My goals for next week are going to be to try to eat more food, protein of course, not just food, but to eat it at more of a regular basis. I'm going to try to drink a lot more water, maybe a little bit less coffee, because the caffeine has a lot of benefits to it, and we'll go into that in a future episode. But I do drink an awful lot of coffee, that's a fact. And I'm going to try to be adding exercises to my weekly routine. So those are some of the things that are my goals to start achieving during this next week. But I hope you tune in to see how those work out and how the weight loss is progressing, because obviously after this week, anything can happen. Maybe I'm going to be on the entirely wrong track, and somewhere down the road, I'm going to have to change plans. But for right now, I'm sticking to carnivore, and we're going to see how this thing works. And I know there's a lot of people out there that have a lot more experience with this than I do. So please leave comments. Let me know what I'm doing wrong, maybe suggestions of what I could do in the coming weeks. And if you're liking these videos, give me a like down below and a subscription, because I really want to grow this channel, because it just might be a help to somebody. So with that said, I will catch y'all next time. Thanks a lot.